Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by introducing the date. We know that today's date is Friday, 27th of October 2023. And we give God Almighty the thanks for sparing our lives to witness this gathering and enable us all come together. With me here is the Vice President of the Voice of Arewa. The Voice of Arewa appreciates your presence. It is a movement we call the amplifiers. Strong, young and vibrant youth coming together under the umbrella of unity, love, patriotism, and voluntarily supporting our dearest Nigeria, irrespective of individual differences. Security in the northern region is consistently deteriorating over the decade. An absence of security can hinder prosperity. The President here will start by briefing us in English. When she is done, we'll have the Hausa version of the briefing. And we hope you'll be ready with your questions after the briefing. Thank you. Our Vice President, Dr. Nabila, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. I remain Dr. Nabila Yusuf Ahmad, the Vice President, Voice of Arewa. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow advocates for change, thank you for joining us today as we stand united under the banner of Voice of Arewa. As the Vice President of Voice of Arewa, I am filled with the passion and determination to address the critical issues that plague our beloved northern Nigeria. Every day, Nigerians face the harsh realities of kidnapping, street begging, unemployment, and deplorable living conditions. But this issue is more prevalent in Arewa. It is the painful truth that cannot be ignored any longer. Data obtained by Daily Trust shows that 1,158 people were reportedly kidnapped between June to October on a month-by-month basis. The breakdown of The breakdown of reported kidnapped victims shows that September recorded the highest number of kidnapping with 498, closely followed by August and June with 213 and 117 kidnapped persons every day. The tragedy is worse in the northern region. The total number of victims in Zamfara stood at 229 and 202 at FCT at the time of the report. In Kaduna alone, 353 victims were kidnapped. More than all the 17 southern states combined, where 352 victims were reported to have been kidnapped. We understand that people should not remain silent while their communities suffer. Therefore, as the Voice of Arewa, we refuse to accept the status quo. Today, we raise our voices with unwavering resolve, calling upon the President, governors, and all relevant authorities and agencies to take immediate and decisive action. Our families, neighbors, friends, and future are being snatched away from the safety of their schools. We demand their rescue and the restoration of security in Arewa and the country. Our passion burns bright, fueled by our love for our land and its people. We will not rest until all victims are rescued, until every child is safe, until every family can and every person can live in dignity and prosperity. This brings us to another segment of insecurity in our region, Arewa. The bottom line or source of all these kidnappings, killings, and other social issues is poverty, as we all know. The federal government should do all it takes in its reach to focus on this region to better the lives of Nigerians in this zone. We are suffering, our people are going through a lot daily. It is on this note we are calling on the federal government to please help us in a way to cope all these challenges in the north. The following are our wishes that should be attended to by the Federal Republic of Nigeria and by the federal government. The first is, the federal government should please, as a matter of urgency, push for the release of the entire students across the federation who have been taken captive. The second one is, the federal government should intensify security across the 19 states of the north to put to a stop these kidnappings that has continued to raise its ugly head. Governors should see the need to fence public schools since kidnappers target are public schools. The federal government should consider empowering youth in the north, either agriculture or skills-wise. The federal government should open its doors and open up windows for NGOs' engagement and relevant stakeholders with CSOs. So, as to this, we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as a force for change. Let our voices echo through the halls of power. Let our messages resonate in the hearts of those who hold the key to a better future. We are the voices of hope, the voice of resilience, and the voice of Arewa. Together, we will bring about the transformation our people deserve. Thank you for joining us on this noble journey. Together, let us ignite a flame of change that will illuminate the path to a brighter tomorrow. Arewa will rise. I remain the masses' public servant, Dr. Nabila Yusuf Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you for this wonderful speech, Dr. Nabila. And I think the speech entails a lot. Besides the call for action, it speaks a lot about the situation in hand and the necessity. And why we are out here today is because it is so necessary to speak about this very situation. And we have the Hausa version of the speech, as I said earlier. The presenter of the Hausa version of the speech will be Malam Maina. Malam Maina, please go ahead.
Sunana Maina Usman, ni ne wanda zan yi translating wannan briefing din da Hausa. Jama'a maza da mata, manyan baki, yan uwana, yan gwagwarmayar kawo sauyi, ina muku sallama irin ta addinin musulunci bisa haduwar mu a wannan dandali mai albarka karkashin tutar muryar Arewa. A matsayina na memba a wannan dandali, zan yi amfani da wannan damar domin na zayyana waɗansu abubuwa da ke kawo koma baya a wannan shiya tamu ta arewacin Najeriya. A koda yaushe 'yan Najeriya na ci gaba da fuskantar ƙalubalen masu garkuwa da mutane, yawan barace-barace, matsalolin rashin aikin yi, don haka dole ne a shawo kan waɗannan ƙalubalen da ake fuskanta musamman ma a yankinmu na Arewa. Wannan shine gaskiyar magana wadda dole ne mu faɗa wa kanmu gaskiya. Wata ƙididdiga ta jaridar Daily Trust ta fitar da kimanin mutane 1,158 ne aka yi garkuwa da su daga wannan Yuni zuwa watan Oktoban da muke ciki. Waɗannan su ne jerin bukatunmu da muke son gwamnatin tarayya ta yi duba a kai. Na ɗaya, muna buƙatar gwamnatin tarayya da ta hanzarta tabbatar da ganin an sako ɗaliban da aka yi garkuwa da su. Dole ne gwamnatin tarayya ta tabbatar da inganta harkokin tsaro a jihohi 19 da ke arewacin ƙasar nan domin magance matsalolin garkuwa da mutane da ta ta'azzara a yankin Arewa. Muna buƙatar gwamnati ta duba yiwuwar zagaye makarantun gwamnati la'akari da yadda masu garkuwa da mutane suke yawan kai musu hari. Muna buƙatar gwamnatin tarayya ta horas da matasa sabbin dabarun aikin noma da koyar da su sana'o'in dogaro da kai. Akwai buƙatar gwamnatin tarayya ta bude kofar baiwa ƙungiyoyi masu zaman kansu damar bude ƙarin ofishoshin domin samarwa matasa ayyukan yi. Mun tsaya kai da fata domin tabbatar da ganin an kawo sauyi a yankin Arewa. Mu haɗa kai wuri guda, mu yi magana da murya ɗaya domin tabbatar da kawo sauyi a rayuwarmu. Mu ne muryar 'yanci, mu ne muryar kawo sauyi, mu ne muryar Arewa. Ina muku idan muka haɗa kai guri guda za mu kawo sauyi mai ɗaurewa. Ina godiya matuƙa da lokacinku da yarda Allah za mu kawo sauyi.
This is the Hausa version of the briefing Dr. Nabila presented earlier. And as we hear him speak with a lot of passion for what he's speaking about, we are urging that the government listen and do something about this very matter. But before then, I have a second moderator that will help us if there is any question in the House. Regardless, you are free to ask questions regarding the very topic we presented at the moment. So you can ask the question, so the high table members can answer you.
Salient questions to be answered. What you actually prefer there are things that have been in the political topic for a very long time. Unfortunately, people have not been able to make it to the board. We are worried. As we speak today, the president was very magnanimous. She, as well as Bola Tinubu, he was able to avail us with 2 ministers, one minister for defense. You already know that Minister of State Defense, 2 key ministries, that are very relevant to the coping of security issues in Nigeria. Unfortunately, so far, I've been more today since it took over. I'm asking a question now. There has not been any concerted security architecture to actually pave a way to say this is how they are going to, pull out the security issues. And now you have come up with the same lingering data, that have embedded us in the past as to killings, kidnappings, and all of that. So now that you have done this, my question is, how are you going to really chase to ensure that this speech is taken to the appropriate quarters, it is addressed, and we'll begin to see results? Thank you very much.
Thank you, I just want to ask a question. Me yasa mu ba za mu ƙara wani agenda guda ɗaya kamar misali ta fannin idan aka ce magance tsaro a arewacin da an san an daɗe ana fama da kana abubuwan nan. So me zai hana a roƙar gwamnati idan da dama a ce kowane ƙauyuka an samar musu da matasan da suke haifafun 'yan ƙauyukan nan ne a ba su horo na musamman, sannan a ba su makaman da za su dinga kare wannan ƙauyukan nasu da iyalansu da ƙannansu da yayyinsu da iyayensu a cikin wannan ƙauyukan. Tunda in dai har aka ce ɗan ta'adda yana da daman da zai iya mallakan duk wani makamin da yake da shi, sannan kuma sorry to say Nigeria muna da poor capacity na fighting terrorists a Nigeria. So me zai hana wa'innan tunda su ɗan uwansu ne, sannan kuma ba za ka haɗa wanda zai kare ɗan uwan shi da wanda zai kare kuma wani wanda ba ɗan uwan shi ba za ka haɗa ba. So me zai hana gwamnati dan Allah mu su ba da wannan daman na cewa a kowane ƙauyuka a samar da matasan da suke wannan ƙauyukan ya kasance su suke tsayawa kamar bango kamar shield na wannan ƙauyen ko wannan garin, na idan wa'annan ta'addan suka kasance suna da daman da za su kare ƙauyukan as kamar mai zance for aid treatment kafin jami'an tsaro su ƙara su.
My question is looking at the recent development in the military, whereby we had a report that day before yesterday, over 100 bandits were killed. What would be your comment regarding that development? And also, the focus of the address seems to be on the federal government. What would you say about what the state government are doing? And because, in Katsina, we had report last month that rifles were given to some vigilante to fight the situation. I mean, what would be a call to this? That is it a commendable effort, and also to other states, what would they do? Not only federal government. Thank you very much.
Hearing everything we are doing online, across all our channels, across our social media, Facebook, TikTokers are there accessing the medium. We have a space that is going on Twitter. So we are pushing this very issue to the national level. It's not the issue of me and you just hearing it here in Kaduna, relating to each other in Kaduna. No, we are trying our best to see that it is outside Kaduna. We can see that the media here are even much trying to do their own parts in disseminating the very information we have on board. So let's continue with the questions, please. Hearing everything we are doing online, across all our channels, across our social media, Facebook, TikTokers are there accessing the medium. We have a space that is going on Twitter. So we are pushing this very issue to the national level. It's not the issue of me and you just hearing it here in Kaduna, relating to each other in Kaduna. No, we are trying our best to see that it is outside Kaduna. We can see that the media here are even much trying to do their own parts in disseminating the very information we have on board. So let's continue with the questions, please. One of the third question. I think the second question was more of a plea or a call, right? You asked suggestion. Let's see. So I think this kind of suggestion should go to the policy makers. When we have a policy on board, I think the policy makers are in the right position to ensure that they are being made the way they are supposed to be. And the last one is already answered regarding, we have to commend them. They are actually doing work. We can't say they are not. Our military personnel are doing work. We hear news every day. So we have to commend them on that. Just that we are wanting more effort regarding that very situation. So I think the first question here will be answered by Mr. Abdul.
Good day. My name is Abdul. For the first question, I really appreciate that. I will take my position for now. I'm not able to say that. I think the person that asked the question, we spoke together before coming to the meeting here regarding the work they are doing, giving a ministerial appointment to the former Safra State Governor about the kidnapping and all those things, where we are advocating for. We are doing a lot of work about that, which we are going to do. And thank God we have the president that has a listening here now. You understand? So, and anything about security is not to be disclosed. That is it. People might not know what they are doing. It's not as if we are building a house and we are telling them how we want to build it. Okay, we are using a block. They are going to use the concrete to attack us. You get what I'm saying? So we are doing a lot of work about that. We really want to do something. Coming out together to do this kind of a thing, as this Arewa Voice, is just for us to, the kidnapping and all those stuff, and insecurity is getting too much. So we came here together just to, on one voice, and to be able to do something better. And I'm giving you an assurance. When next we are coming here, I think people will tell for us or will give us some approval. We are going to do something better. I'm representing the federal government. I'm very sorry about that. Everything is going to be okay. We are doing something better. And we are working towards that for everything to be achieved. My regards.